Welcome to Motivational Monday.
What's poppin', TikTok? It's boy Chef Blizzy.
Yo, good. It's your boy Jay Charles.
Yo, it's Irv.
It's Bill.
What's up, this is Daniel.
Hey, and this is Dom. Alright, what we gonna talk about tonight about a few of our members have been in wheelchairs and just talking about their experiences having to be in wheelchairs. I know Irv was in a wheelchair for a minute, so we just want to talk about that. And hopefully you guys be able to send some questions our way and we can read them and answer. First up is Daniel. Daniel, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, Bill. You?
I'm alright. Talk about your experience in wheelchair.
Well, I've been on a wheelchair since 2011. Never mind. Wait, what's 2011 or 10? Yeah, 11. Actually, I want to say it was August 6th or 7th. I don't remember the correct day, but yeah, I've been in a wheelchair since then. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, I've been in my wheelchair because, I got shot in the neck, and it went through right under my Adam's apple, and it went all the way to the back, and it hit the left side, the left side of my spine.
And as you being in a wheelchair, is that a permanent thing, or are they expecting this to get better at the time?
Well, in the beginning, they actually said, well, yeah, of course, it's permanent. And the doctor said that I was actually going to be paralyzed from my neck down before I woke up. That's what he was saying. And I guess when I woke up, I was able to, move my hands a little bit, but I didn't have full control of my fingers. One of my hands, I still don't have full control. It's my right one, but my left one, I already got full control of my hand. But after that, I want to say, I don't know what, 2 or 3, because when the bullet went through my neck, the bullet got stuck on my spine, and it was right there. And the doctor, he didn't want to pull it out because he said it could, cause more damage.
Yeah.
So he just left it there. And yeah, I want to say 2 or 3 years after I got shot, something on my back started hurting, and then of course when something hurts you try to touch it, Yeah. And when I touched it, it hurt so bad that I felt like passing out. So I told my sister Joanna, I'm like, hey, check what's on my back, and she's like, something's coming out, it looks like a pimple. But then I guess she looked closer, and it was the bullet pushing itself out out my skin. And she's like, it's about to come out. I'm like, pull it out. She's like, no, because it could be bad, And so we just left it like that. And I want to say the next day or the next 1 or 2 days, I don't know which one it was, when I woke up at night and I sat on my chair, my mom said there was blood on my bed, and the bullet was on my bed.
Oh, wow. You still got that bullet, right?
Yeah, I think my mom has it. I want to make a story about it. I haven't, got into that, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good story.
Yeah, and after the bullet came out, I started able to move my toes a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I could wiggle my toes up and down, on both feet.
Yeah.
And on my, which one is wiggle? I always have to remember because I forget. I got my right leg, I could just move my toes, wiggle my toes, and then if I try if I want to move my leg, I could feel my muscle moving, but it doesn't, my leg doesn't move,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And on the right one, that one, yeah, I could move my leg front and back. But after a while, I get tired and I can't do it anymore. I don't have control to stand up or nothing like that, but I could move them a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really,
Okay.
So it's been since 2011 you've been in a wheelchair?
Yes, I want to say 10 years because, I forgot my son was in my baby mama's stomach, so he's going to be 11, so yeah, it's going to be 11 years.
So what kind of things can't you do? Obviously, you can't move your legs, so it's hard. You have problems walking. What do you take from everyday life that people might do that you might have some problems doing?
Of course, I would say to me a little bit it's more harder because, I'm visually impaired and on a wheelchair as well. So to navigate around the house, it's, a little bit difficult. Of course, I use my hands because I can't use a cane, to touch the walls or what's around me. If it's something too low, then I might hit it. Like the wall, like on the hallway, already, it's all broken where, like, I crash into it and stuff.
Yeah.
But, and outside, of course, if I had a cane, I could probably, navigate with the cane in my electric chair. But to be honest, I'm a little bit scared because what if I get too close to, like, the curb and then, like, half my tires, fall off and I, like, tip over.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to risk it.
Anybody else have a question?
Yeah. What goals you looking forward to do while you're in the wheelchair? Like, is it something that you want to do?
Well, for a while, I want to say before I came in these groups, I did used to go to this gym where it was just for people on, wheelchairs, like paraplegic and like people that couldn't move at all. So it would be like a gym just especially for paraplegic people, I guess. And I used to go there a lot, and from there, they will sometimes take us to like colleges. You know how when people are about to graduate, they want you to like work with people on wheelchairs, I really like doing that, but to be honest, I haven't done it. I want to say 2-3 years I haven't done it, but before that, I always go. I think I would like to do more stuff like that, so I could, help people that are studying for college for this kind of work, to help them out, even though that I don't care about getting out. I'm not getting paid or none of that. That's just, I guess, it's something I like to do.
So that's the question for all of us. Go ahead, Trey. You saying something?
Oh, no, I was just saying, you ever think about getting back into it?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I actually been thinking about it more this year since I joined, the Blind Times and, like, the groups with Vicky. I feel more comfortable to, go get out there more. So I don't know, maybe soon I'll ask them if they have any openings. Because I guess you have to let them know time ahead,
What about anybody else? That's a good segue into another question. What goals might you have that blindness, or you think that blindness is hampering you from? I know me, myself, I have 2 black belt degrees in 2 different martial arts. And it's always been my passion to open up a martial arts school. And I was headed that way all the way up until 2019. But I drastically lost my eyesight. And now I'm even thinking about trying to get back into it. But I'm nervous and thinking, what good can I do with not having no sight? But, that makes me a prime victim, not having sight or not watching my surroundings or whatnot. So I want to get back into it. But anybody else have a dream or a passion that they, is scared because their disability hampers them?
I wouldn't say I'm scared, but I am pushing to be a wrestler.
Okay.
I know one of my things before I started losing my sight, I wanted to make I wanted to have a mobile car detailing. Like, I'd pull up on you, wash your car while you at work and all that good stuff, and clean it out while you at work. And when you get off, your car clean and you ready to roll. So I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to set something up like that, but of course I cannot drive, so that's a tough one.
That's a good business. Dre, Dom, anything?
For me personally, I don't think what I've noticed in my life up to this point is that even with my blindness, stuff that I've wanted to get accomplished, I don't think blindness has stood in the way. I feel like there's always a way to go about it, and I may not have to necessarily do it the way that I initially thought that I would get it accomplished. But me personally, I haven't ran across anything yet. Again, when I lost my sight, my main goal was always just to spread the word and get out there and make a difference. And so personally, I feel like I'm doing that. I know I've gotten a couple of opportunities and requests for me to do some motivational speaking. So hopefully I'll be able to make that a reality here shortly. So yeah.
What about you, Dre?
I think I would like to get back into drawing if I can. But if I can't, I just want to do something, man. Still trying to build something. I'm not trying to let no blindness sit me down somewhere. So I probably try to build something or just do anything that people think I can't do. So it's endless for me.
Okay. Let's get back onto the wheelchair and Irv. Why don't you tell us about your experience in a wheelchair?
Okay, so my experience came from, of course, people know I have a below the knee amputation. So I was only in a wheelchair for about 3 months. My experience in a wheelchair wasn't necessarily that bad. So because of where I lived, it wasn't much of a hassle, getting in and out and stuff like that. And around the house, we made sure that it was like a pathway for me to go. Like we even pulled up. We had carpet, but we had rugs on top of the carpet. So we got rid of the rugs that were on the carpet so that I wouldn't be hindered in any way. I did live in a townhouse, so I would have to leave my wheelchair at the bottom of the stairs, go up the stairs backwards, like one step at a time, like that. And when I got to the top of the stairs, I had a walker at the top of the stairs that I could walk from the stairs to my bed. And it's all different challenges because it's just adapting to the new situation you got going on. But the time that I had in a wheelchair wasn't really that bad, but I was ready and determined to get out of that wheelchair.
Can you talk about, you was explaining the whole procedure of how you went from a couple of toes to below the knee, and what made you decide to do it that way?
Okay, so at first it was just my big toe, and then they had to go back in for a to debrief it, to go in and clean it up. So they actually, when they went back and cleaned up the first one, they amputated another toe, which I didn't have any knowledge of until I woke up. And then after that, it wasn't healing properly or at all, I should say. And then they were gonna do all the toes. And the day before I was scheduled to go to the surgery, I had to do an extra treatment at dialysis, and it was a guy that sat right next to me and heard me saying I had to get my toes amputated tomorrow, and he was like, I'm not trying to get in your business or whatever, but you should probably just let them do, the whole foot or whatever. So it made sense because my doctor had already told me that my blood flow to my foot was very minimal, and that my blood flow started basically where I would be getting the below the knee amputation. So I went ahead and went with the below the knee amputation because I didn't want to be dealing with surgery after surgery just to get to the ultimate below the knee. So I did that, and I can say that has been a good choice that I've made in my life.
Was that a big psychological switch for you? I mean, you thinking that you're going there and losing a couple toes. Now you're losing half your leg. I mean, what was your mindset at that point?
You're saying like from the beginning of the whole process to when I got my my amputation, the other amputation.
Having to make the decision of a couple of toes as opposed to half your leg.
So the motivation for that was to get back to normal as quick as possible, because when I just had the 2 toes amputated, I was on a scooter, and my knee was on the scooter. I was pushing that around and stuff like that. So I wanted to get back to normal as quickly as I could. And I mean, I didn't want to also be dealing with, like I said, surgery after surgery, which would prolong me getting back to normal. So, and I mean, as far as my psychological state, after I've kind of made up my mind about some things, it's okay. I guess, the grieving process is what it is. And as long as I kind of go through it and go through the motions, after that, it's pretty okay. Another thing that motivated me is that I have two daughters, and I never want them to grow up thinking that giving up is the way to go. I always want them to know that, I want them to see me and be like, well, okay, so my dad is visually impaired. He was on dialysis. He got one leg, and he's still going to work, making it happen. So I want them to know that, just that, the little things that happen to you, you still can push forward and you still can move on as normal as you can. And that's all, you can ask for, is just to be as normal as you are able to be.
That's definitely a good point. Definitely a good point. I mean, I see everything that you go through, and I'm inspired by you because you don't let none of that hold you back. So definitely a good point. Andre, Chris, Dre, you guys got questions?
Did you have to deal with phantom limb syndrome at any point?
So when I got the toes amputated, no, but after I got the below the knee, yes. I take it's a pill called gabapentin for the phantom pain. Yeah, that's about it.
I take that too, Dre, Irv. I take it for neuropathy.
Yeah, it helps with all of that. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a nerve. It's for your nerve. It's like a muscle relaxer, I believe, something like that.
So what was that pill called? I'm sorry, Dominic. What was that pill called?
I didn't say a pill name. I was actually gonna ask you for something.
No. Okay. What's the condition that you talked about that you had to take a pill?
Phantom limb syndrome.
Yeah, phantom pain. Basically.
And just what it feel like since it's like his leg is down, he still feel it.
Right. It's
yeah,
so
I was just heard that.
Right, whenever you get something or any type of limb amputated or any extremity, then a lot of times people will suffer from pain, because it's almost like it's a mental thing. Like they'll suffer from pain, but it'll be from the limb that was actually amputated. So
Yes.
it's there's nothing there, but they'll still just
okay,
describe.
so
You ever had that herb?
so I'm gonna get into it. So I at first I used to get I still get sharp pains every once in a while, and I also would feel like my toes are itching, but of course I can't scratch them because they're not there. So, and I can move the nerves in my leg and stuff, I can still feel like I'm wiggling my toes in the amputated foot, in the amputated leg.
Is that psychological? Because
No. Everything in your body is connected, Bill. So my foot is still connected to the leg my leg is still connected to the foot that's gone. The nerves that are there, all of them are connected. I don't really do it that much because it kind of it kind of hurts to wiggle something to try to wiggle that ain't something that ain't there. It kind of hurts sometimes.
It's crazy that you're saying that right now, bro. Because of course, I have both my legs, but like with my mind, if I know it's gonna sound weird, but if I kind of like think like if I'm moving my legs like really fast, right?
Yeah.
Both my legs start hurting.
Yeah. When you was explaining yours, I was just saving that for. I was just saving it. I just didn't want to interrupt you, also. But yeah.
And it's, I forget what it's called, but there's some type of connection between like the mental aspect of it and then the nerves. So obviously, you have to have, you tell your, like Irv said, your brain is telling your foot to wiggle its toes. Now, obviously, without, it sending the signal, it doesn't, without you sending that signal, then your toes aren't going to wiggle. But if you still in your mind are saying, I need to wiggle my toes, then your brain is still sending that signal through your nerves to do so.
Yeah.
And so I think there's and I don't know exactly what it's called, but I believe it's some type of connection to where, I think your body kind of has to go through this period of recognizing, okay, I'm here. I have to, mentally recognize and acknowledge the fact that it's not here, because if not, my body is still going to be sending messages to that extremity, telling it to do whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask Daniel too. I know that my coworker is also in a wheelchair as well for a similar reason, and I know a lot of times he has involuntary muscle spasms and jerks and jolts, and his legs fly up and stuff like that. Is something that you experience as well? Is that what you go through?
Yes, but I would say mine are not, knock on wood, they've never knocked me down my chair. I've slide down, and I'm about to fall, but I hold myself. But yeah, I do get spasms when I actually get out, which I know this is probably a bad idea, but right when I got out of the hospital, I was so done with pills or medicine that I just stopped taking every kind of pill, like the muscle relaxers, the spasm pills, and other kind of pills I don't even remember for what. I'm pretty sure I need them, but I haven't, been taking them. And the spasms, I don't mind them because sometimes they do help me move around, like when I'm sitting down or laying down. When I want to lay on my side or something, or when I get up and sit up and hold myself with my arms, they help me get up and stuff like that. But I do know that some people have it really, really bad, that they have to get this, I don't know how you call it, it's like a little machine inside their stomach that, pumps the medicine straight to your spine.
Spine, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's actually two people who I work with, and one of them, his is so severe that, like you said earlier, he'll literally, his spasms literally throw him out of his chair and onto the floor. He, again, has that same device that you're talking about, but obviously does not really, I don't know if he's not taking it or doesn't use it. I really don't know too many specifics, but yeah, I mean, the first individual who's in the wheelchair, I think is kind of like with his legs, they tighten up and they flex, and you can kind of see him jolting, but he knows how to control it more. Where, like I said, with the second individual, a lot of times I've had to go and pick him up off the floor because it's throwing him on the floor before.
Wait, so he don't wear the seatbelt thing?
He has one, but some people ain't fans of the seatbelt, so
I hear you. Same here.
It's crazy. I think I got something for that. My big toe is gone, but it still feel like it's there.
Yeah.
It really feel like it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, that's all I want to say. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, it was just a question for Daniel. So if you just woke up the next morning, you just stood up, what would be the first thing you would do?
Probably.
What'd you say? I said he'd do a toe touch, but I was being silly. I'm sorry.
Probably, I don't know, carry my kids. Because even though they can sit on my lap, I've never physically carry one of my kids.
Okay.
Hey Daniel, it ain't always it ain't always made up to be.
Whatever they are.
Well, yeah, especially my son right now, he's already gonna be 11.
Yeah. Both of my kids too big to be trying to pick up.
You know what I do? I try to learn the heel too.
So, the same coworker that I was talking about before, he has an electric wheelchair, but his electric wheelchair will stand him up.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, it will, obviously it comes out of the chair sitting position and actually stands his body up. Now, I don't know if maybe there's a harness in it to where he can actually stand. I don't know if maybe he's standing on his own cognizance or strength to be able to stand, but is that something that would work for you? Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, how like on some amusement park rides, they kind of have the harness that looks like a pair of like underwear that holds you up by your waist so that you can stand. I'm wondering if that would be something that could possibly take place. Although I'm sure you probably wouldn't want to wear that.
No, I'm pretty sure that the thing that he has done is, like, I think the thing holds him from his, like, probably under his belly button, kind of like a thing that goes around from side to side, Mm-hmm. All he would have to do, or unless he had that across his chest, because I've been on one of those chairs before, and, because I'm not really used to it. I remember twice I passed out on the chair because they say, because I've been sitting for so long,
right?
When I get up, stand on my 2 feet,
Your blood pressure drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which is crazy, bro, because when I'm on the lake or on the pool, and my sister, stands me up on my feet, nothing happens. I guess it's because of water pressure, right?
I don't know. That's interesting.
You think when you're in the water?
Yeah, like my sister. Remember last year we went to the lake?
Yeah. I think that, because like I know when people are bedridden or in the hospital for long periods of time, they tell you not to stand up really quickly because, was it Irv that just said it? A lot of times it's that the blood pressure will drop and, all of that, so you can get really lightheaded and weak standing up. So I would think it would be the water that would be kind of taking away some, because, when you're in the water, it kind of makes you feel like you're floating. So I would assume maybe that might be what made it easier.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But yeah, like I said, I've been on those chairs before, and yeah, it's pretty cool, but they're not cheap.
Yeah, I think my coworker said he dropped like $400, $500 on his, $600,
Wait,
something
what?
like that. Mm-hmm.
That's no way. Where? I want to buy one.
That's
cheap, bro.
that's my call. Hold on, I'll be back.
All right.
But yeah, so I actually haven't been in a pool or to the beach or anything since my amputation.
You're missing out.
Wait, so like you don't take it off and get somebody helps you up?
I just never been. I just haven't been. I mean, okay, so I got my amputation and then that November, I think, is when when the COVID scares and all of that started happening. So then I had that whole year or whatever, like I wasn't doing nothing. And I mean, I just haven't been to the pool or anything. I mean, I've thought about it, but I just haven't been. I know I can do it, but I just haven't been.
Okay. So, but were you ever a big fan of the pool or not really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like the pool. And I mean, before that, I couldn't go in the pool because I had the PD catheter in my stomach.
I don't know why.
Cause they say that being underwater, the chlorine can seep into that port. So
They told me to get in. They'll clean it for you.
Oh well.
They told me.
Well, my doctors tell me not to do that, and I ain't been trying to find out because I never wanted to get an infection, so
They said this. They told me straight up because I was like, I can't get in no pool. And they was like, yeah, that chlorine gonna clean that thing for you. Yep. So I got videos of me with it on jumping in the pool.
Yeah, no, not me. I ain't been messing with that.
What could happen?
So just
Like, okay, so what I'm saying is that it's a hole that with a tube coming out, and what I'm saying is, I feel like if you get under the water, then the thing could seep some of that seep that water into your stomach, and I would not want to get an infection.
Okay.
Or maybe they told me I could, and I was like, nah, I'd just rather
Yeah, that's
not.
kind of risky.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
And I do remember hearing that you said that it took you 3-4 months just to get fitted for your amputated leg, right?
Yeah, it was.
Was it like, did you have to do therapy, or was it difficult to start walking with your amputated leg?
Okay, so I have a story about that. I was going to the guy to be fitted, and he was fitting me and having my measurements and all that. So he had a model that he made me try on. He was like, okay, I want you to try it on. And he was like, after you put it on, stand up and take a couple of steps in between those silver bars. So I ended up walking the entire bar, like the entire length of the bars, without my hands on the bars. And I could hear him. He was like, wow. And I'm like, I was confused. I was like looking back, like, what's up? He was like, I think that was the best first steps I've ever seen. And I was like, quit playing. And coming to find out from the receptionist, when I finally got my leg, she told me that she only had seen like 2 people walk out of there with their leg on, me being one of them. And I was like, yeah, but how long have you worked? She's like, about 3 years. So to say that you've only seen 2 people walk out of here with the leg on in 2 years, in 3 years, that's like, ooh, that's kind of, it kind of puts it into perspective.
Right.
I wanted to correct what I said earlier. Daniel was correct. The reason why he was only able to pay $400 or $500 for the chair was because he ended up getting grants and other programs to help him lower the cost for the chair.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because my parents had actually thought about getting, for me to get one of those, even though that I can't, navigate it myself, but at least to stand up once in a while, right? But yeah, they're really pricey.
Yeah, so he actually just recently got married, and I believe he stood up at his wedding when the wife started to come down the aisle.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like that that TikTok I saw. I did I tell you guys about that TikTok about this? I guess is it disabled? Wait, should I say this? I don't know. No, but yeah, never mind.
We'll take it back to the house, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
I try to have problems right now with.
Oh my god. Well.
Any more questions?
Any more questions?
All right, well, I guess we're going to close it off for tonight. We thank Daniel and Irv for sharing their experiences. Actually, one more question. Dre, you said that you were also an amputee. Did you ever end up in a wheelchair or with a walking assistant?
No. After I got my big toe amputated, they like wrapped my foot and they put me in a boot. So I was in a boot for like 2 months. I had some crutches. And then they unwrapped it. And they checked it. I was like, yeah, pretty nice. They took the stitches out. Ever since then, I've been, regular shoes.
Okay.
I do have a
like this for this.
Go ahead.
Is you finna ask me about something? Because I think I'm finna answer your question. What you gonna
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna just say, when I was my whole right side was paralyzed. That was hard. Trying to waking that back up. Well, what you was gonna ask me, Don?
Well, wasn't you? But I guess I was going to need to ask you some questions. But my question was going to be more towards Daniel and Irv. For somebody who may be looking at possibly having to navigate around in a wheelchair, I know that they have certain types of like home mods or home modifications and stuff like that. Do you guys know of any beneficial ones? Because I remember Daniel saying something in the beginning about running into walls and stuff like that.
To be honest, no. Only thing that I said, like, we did was make sure the walkways and stuff were clear, so there wouldn't be any hindrance. So only thing I can say is like rugs and extension cords that, you know, just make sure that the walkway and stuff is clear for you to do so, for you to move, navigate. As far as equipment and stuff, I did have a ramp that I bought from Home Depot, because we did have a little curb in front of my house, and I did have that, but that's all that I can think about.
For me, I would say, like I said, of course, it's a little bit more difficult because, you know, I'm visually impaired as well, but yeah, we had to build, I guess, a ramp. Like, my dad, he told me, build like a wooden ramp in the front, so you know, keep going, even though I don't go out a lot, you know what I mean? But yeah, like no shit there. I would say it's not much you could really do, because no matter what, I'm still my head walk. You know, when I was in blind, I still, you know, had accidents and hit the walls and stuff like this. You know what I mean? Of course, with the chair, it's gonna be harder, and I guess just make sure. I don't know, to be honest. Just know that you're getting your deposit back from the house.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, and the wall thing for me was, I guess, just me throwing one out there. But so, for instance, where I work at, one of the things that we do is home modifications for, you know, people with some of the same cases that you guys had. So I know that they have, like, I guess, like with tubs, well, like, you know, like most bathtubs have like that, I guess, that wall you have to step over to get into the tub.
Oh, yeah.
So just like stuff like that where, like, you know, they may take down, or like it may just be like a tub where you can just roll in, and then like the drain of the tub is directly in the center. So I just didn't know if there was anything that you guys, you know, knew of or were using when you guys were going through it.
Okay, well, yeah, for me, like I said, the ramp and the bathroom, they did have a, you know, the bathroom is big enough, so all they did is they took the, you know, bathtub and made it bigger, so it's just kind of like a walking bathroom, you know, like a shower. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's probably a little bit bigger than the twin bed. So, you know, the shower is pretty big, and of course, you know, the toilet is in there too. But yeah, besides the bathroom and the ramp outside, that's all I use. Cause the board before I had my van, you know, like to jump from the chair to the car.
The transfer,
transfer board. I think in the whole 10, 11 years right now, I think I've only fell once all the way to the floor, but
that's good.
Not that bad.
I did have a question for Christian, if you didn't mind. So with your recovery process having to deal with the stroke, is that something similar to the recovery process of having to deal with an amputation, or, you know, learning how to, you know, I guess regain back function of what you may have lost at one point in time?
Well, the recovery, like, the first thing they started off with me was, like, my arm and my leg. Like, the leg, they put, like, this pillow, because I'm talking about, they tried to get me out of the bed, and I couldn't move at my right side. And, like, trying to walk on my left, and that was hard. So what they did with that, they just set, like, a pillow under my right leg, and they was like just focused on that, and try to move it. So like every day I was just focusing on it to like move it up and down, and that got done. But then it came to my arm, my hands, and whatever. That took a minute. Like the lady, she put like corns in front of me, and I had to hold my arm with my left hand to try to pick everything up. It was hard, but that got done. Then when it came back, like y'all think, I told y'all like it's beginning to group, and now like my speech is kind of got real bad, and like with that to have that like come back, I went to speech therapy, and she the lady there, she had me do a lot of tongue twisters, so that like came back as well, but not like my speech like it was at first. Because sometimes I have to literally catch myself, like my right side, I have to catch myself sometimes to where I might look a little drool, like oh shit, no, let me get that.
Got you.
I seen my mom go through it, man. My mom, she had a stroke, but she went through all that. She had to learn how to talk again. And, of course, learn how to walk again and use her whole, like, left side. So I seen her go through the process, man. I'm not going through it, but it was hard just sitting there trying to see her cry sometimes. Cause,
Because, like, waking up and, like, trying to, like, I had moments where I was texting people, and I'm talking about, it'll be a simple word. Like, if I say you had a cat, I type you had, and look at me like, you spell cat. What is that? How do you spell it? And I like literally look at my mom, spell this word. She's like, you don't know how to spell it? Because my left side, my right side of my brain was still like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that process trying to recover it was hard, but I got it done. But it took a minute for my speech to come back. Like trying to talk, whoa.
And Chris, how long did the process take? To get to somewhere where you were comfortable?
I say it probably took about like 6 to maybe 5 months. Cause like the arm and the leg, I say the leg probably like a month and a half, 2 or maybe 3 months for the arm and hand. But that speech was like about the whole 5 months. Cause like talking and like I really can't even like before even the stroke, I can't really do tongue twisters. Cause I talk with my tongue already.
Well, shit, I can't do it either, so, you ain't the only one.
I know, right? Me neither.
He came through with those, and she sent me home with them, some list on them. I went home, did them, came back. She was like, yeah, you can bail, and everything, ever since it's just been like this way.
Well, if ain't nobody else told y'all, Irv, Daniel, and Christian, and Dre and Bill, I'm very proud of you guys.
Oh, Dom.
Not too much.
Oh.
And you know what?
Hey, I got you when we get in the older house party.
Wow. Just tell me we proud of him too.
Yeah, we proud of him too.
Well,
PG-13.
I try.
Congratulations on your new apartment.
Yes,
right.
sir.
Well, they turn my camera on so y'all can see.
And when the shot's starting, Dom?
We got TV cribs.
We got TikTok cribs too.
Yeah, TikTok cribs.
Wow, not TikTok cribs.
It should be a thing.
Right. Okay. Well, all right, y'all. That's it. So, we gonna holler at y'all later. Did anybody else got anything?
Yeah, anybody else?
I think that's it.
I'm good.
Bill, Herb?
No, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
No, just want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and sharing your experience with us. It was just supposed to be Daniel and her, but Dre dropped in and Chris dropped in. Dominic has some things to say, so I just want to appreciate everybody and thank you for coming out tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Valentine's out.
Please don't forget to feed neuter your animals.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
and please drink lots of water.
What animal? Your dad?
Hydrate yourself.
Yeah, don't ask me nothing about no animals, okay?
How you got neuter a fish?
Hey, you probably can. You see an octopus, you know how to do it.
That's different, bro.
PG-13.
we out, I think. Right, Herb?
There we go.
Thanks for watching. Until next time, Blind Titans out.